hesitation, no doubts.
That's it?
That's it.
I got it.
And now a word
with Ron and Fez.
And the only prescription is more cowbell.
Buddies! It's the Ron and Fez show. I'm Ron, there's Fez.
Hiya, buddies. TGIF.
It's Friday night. And another weird night, Fezzy. Another weird day just to read the news and just to see what's going on with this country of ours. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth here, Fez. I've always prided myself on not being a conspiracy nut. You know, I never believed in the hidden UFO stuff. I've never followed the black helicopter stuff. Never scared me. Yeah, I never really believed that JFK died from a lone gunman. But at the same time, none of the other things really seem that plausible to me. Now I have no idea what to believe anymore. I don't believe the government. I no longer believe the media. And I'm finding myself rambling on to my friends in very strange ways. And I'm starting to worry I'm going to be one of those guys that's got tinfoil inside a football helmet and hiding jars of my urine underneath my bed because I'm worried about conspiracies.
Join me under the bed.
I don't want to live that way. I've never wanted to live that way. This latest story, the Nick Berg deal, is just getting weirder and weirder. Now, it was just a couple of nights ago that we talked about Berg. That's the kid from Westchester who went over into Iraq and was beheaded. And it was on television. Well, not on television, but it was on the Internet. And, of course, radio shows have picked it up. I think Sean Hannity played it for his Goose Steppers as a way of saying, you need to hear what kind of evil's out there, and we need to do something about this. And then I'm hearing the stuff that the guy's parents are saying where they're not really blaming the terrorists, they're blaming Bush and Rumsfeld. And that struck me as, you know, kind of weird. And I'm like, why is the guy over there if he's not a contractor? Who would go to work there? Now this latest news that this Nick Berg, right after 9/11, was being looked at by the FBI because terrorists were using some computer password. Now, they said, okay, a couple of years ago, this is nothing, no sense in worrying about this, the kid's clear, he just lost his password. And yet this is the same exact guy who ends up in Iraq?
Yeah, his password is taken by an Al-Qaeda operative, and he ends up being beheaded by an Al-Qaeda operative.
In the middle of Iraq. And you know, so you have two sides of this, and I'm trying to figure it out, and I'm going, okay, so maybe he was somehow caught up. But then I'm like, the United States knows this thing. They know that the same guy who they investigated is over in Iraq, and they keep telling him to go home. This doesn't make any sense to me at all.
It's all bizarre. Like you said, he was in Oklahoma going to college. Mazawi, who was supposed to be the 20th hijacker, gets a hold of his password, and then, you know, the government investigation. Now, the thing that surprised me the most about the Nick Berg story was when we had callers saying, no, you can just go to Iraq. And that's basically what he did. He flew to Jordan and crossed the border into Iraq.
But if you think if anyone was on any kind of list, it would be this guy. And when he turned up, our own government would be going, this is way too weird. This is way too big of coincidence.
And then afterwards, his parents saying he was in U.S. custody. They blame the U.S. military for not releasing him sooner so he could get home. The government says, we never had him.
Yeah.
The family has emails saying they did.
And this is the other bizarre thing. Now, as I start to look at the pictures of it, and by the way, they're calling this Decapagate. Decapagate is what the conspiracy folks are starting to say now. I'm looking at the picture of him, and for some reason, he's wearing an orange jumpsuit, right? Like a prisoner would. But you think to yourself, okay, he's not like a prisoner in a U.S. prison, right? He's just being held by some by some terrorist. He's just one hostage. Why would they feel the need to go, let's go out and find a prison uniform and put it on our only prisoner? What would the basis of that be?
Yeah, if it was Al-Qaeda, it would just be in some private residence, some private fort, some hideout.
I'm pretty sure he would be wearing his own clothes or maybe some native Iraqi clothes, but I do not get it anymore. And I don't want to be this person who's just constantly looking into everything, because those guys end up becoming mad. They become mad.
But there's nothing about this that adds up whatsoever. None of it makes sense. Then you have Al Jazeera today saying that the beheading was fake. It didn't really happen.
I'm not downing that. I have no idea why. I'm just falling for everything now. I feel like what's up is down. Fezzy, we're in through the looking glass now.
Al Jazeera is saying that the video doesn't match up to an actual beheading. The body would have been moving more. There would have been a lot more blood. They're saying that Americans staged this in order to get everyone's mind off of the prison humiliation.
So we're back to wagging the dog again.
Right, where it's like, oh my gosh, they beheaded an American kid. Forget about what happened in that prison.
Yeah.
We got to be gung-ho again.
And there's also people going, how quickly this came up on the internet, and supposedly this, baba bing, baba doop. And I'm just sitting around my house thinking about this stuff. And I don't want to be there. I don't want to be that guy.
It has gotten so weird in the past week or so. I mean, like, this situation wasn't weird enough. It's bizarre now.
Yeah, it's crazy. The conspiracy now is saying, was Nick Berg executed by the CIA? And I cannot, for the life of me, get a handle on what's going on with our government or our media. One swears, one lies, the other swears to it, is all I'm picking up anymore. And I'm starting to feel like an island of one.
So, all right, so that's a third theory. Not that the beheading was fake, it was real, but it was done by CIA operatives, not Al-Qaeda operatives.
Yeah, there's conspiracy sites up all over the place.
It makes sense. I mean, because Al-Qaeda being in Iraq is what this government has always tried to push. A link between Iraq and Osama bin Laden.
And, then when Hannity and those kinds of people, they're really pushing it hard, going, let's see, do you see what's happening here? And then you're like, in the next couple of moments, you're like, well, maybe the guy was involved with terrorism. It's like 2 days later. Where 1 minute they're trying to talk him in, act like he's the next Pat Tillman, and then a couple of days later they're like, he was a pretty shaky guy, and we know about it. I'm like, how did that happen? How did all this go down?
And we didn't know why he was wandering around Iraq. That comes up.
Just bizarre. It's just bizarre, the stuff that they throw at us, and they expect us to spoon it in our mouths now. We're just supposed to spoon it in.
And with the prison scandal, apparently only Rumsfeld knew about this since January. The president read about it in the paper. Members of Congress didn't know about it until they saw the pictures on Drudge.
Yeah, and I do not want to follow all this. I don't want to be one of those guys that's, on the West Coast every summer trying to watch the most richest, powerful people come together and dance naked around some kind of a pyre. It's not the guy I want to be. Take it away. You're jamming me. I'm gonna quote Tom Petty right now. You're jamming me. I can't take it anymore.
They're giving you too much stuff not to be jammed, Ronnie.
Yeah, but it's too much lies. Every time I turn around, I feel like even kids aren't buying these lies. It's just bizarre.
Well, it's always weird when information just starts coming out quick. Like this kid, let's say he's stuck in Iraq like his parents say, and they're going weeks and weeks trying to get information on him and trying to figure out where he is and who's got him. Now, as soon as this happens, boom, everyone's flying out with information. We never had him. That was the Iraqis. We've got emails. Now, all of a sudden, everyone knows everything he was doing. why this family was supposedly struggling to figure out where the hell he is. Now info is available.
I don't get it at all, Fez. I don't want to spend my life like Michael Moore, wandering around, wondering if people bowled, and that's why they shot people. No, that's not my intention. I want to go back. I want to pre-9/11 my life. Got naked chicks in here. Go old school, Fezzy.
Oh, that would be sweet. I don't think there's any going back, though, Ronnie.
All I want to do is go wondering when the president got an intern naked. That's the good old days.
Weren't those fun conspiracies?
Yes. It was like living in a Broadway musical, the stuff we had to worry about then. And just watching your stupid internet stock go up.
Hillary's living with a woman.
Yeah. And maybe a lot of their friends are dead, and we can turn around and try to tie that together. Because it didn't involve us at that time.
That big, long list of everyone the Clintons have killed.
Remember when we used to get on planes without taking our shoes off? And I don't know how that's helped anybody.
You just have to go to the airport undressed now. You have to go in your shorts and then put your clothes on there.
And if you just say the simple, normal thing of, do I really look like a shoe bomber? Take a look at me. Do I look like I'm caught up with them at all?
You can't say that.
Yeah, suddenly they hear shoe bomber, and then the airport shuts down.
Remember when they thought Nancy Reagan was running the White House via astrology?
Yeah, I go back to it in a heartbeat.
That was fun.
I go back to it in a heartbeat. Just bizarre. All right, 866-277-4969. That's not all we're going to be talking about tonight, too, Fezzy. We're going to be talking about the fine, seductive art of Japanese rope bondage.
Yeah, we're going to be talking to Midori a little bit later on from beautybound.com.
And then we also have a young couple that's coming in tonight that are going to show us how it's done. Now, normally, I like to get my freak on, but nothing that takes extra gadgets. I don't want to own stuff that I don't want to see during the light of day.
Well, with all these ropes, it's practically like sewing.
Yeah, I know, and you got to put things, you got to put hinges up and everything that's weird about. I just can't sit there and worry about. It's why a bong bothers me. I don't want to look at a bong on days that I'm not high and go, look how I live my life.
A romantic gift for these two is a Home Depot card where they can go get all their hooks and apparatus.
Yeah, I can't live that way. All right, 866-277-4969, 866-277-4969. Matt, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Welcome, Matt.
I just wanted to comment real quick on the beheading and say that if you watch the tape pretty closely, you can see that he was really doped up and sedated, and that's kind of Al-Qaeda's MO. They tried to do it to Daniel Pearl, but he refused to do it, wouldn't accept it. And I think that's a lot of the reason why the body wasn't jerking and reacting the way Al Jazeera would say it would be. But then again, why trust Al Jazeera? They don't have a really good track record of telling the truth.
Matt, why trust anybody? Why trust anybody right now? I have no idea who killed this guy. I have no idea what he was doing there. I don't have any idea why his parents had emails supposedly from the government, which now we're saying we didn't.
Hey, I trusted the commander-in-chief when he said that was a real turkey.
That's when it all started going bad, with that big, giant plastic turkey. Here's Marco. Marco, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, long-time listener, first-time caller.
All right, thanks.
Hey, listen, the video's fake. If you pay attention to the time on the bottom, as soon as he finished reading the letter, the time jumps about 6 hours. Not only that, but I've seen a real decapitation on station in Saudi Arabia. And there's a lot more blood than that. You
live a crazy life that you saw real.
Well, I mean,
I think he was at the goth prom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you're stationed, you see a lot of that stuff in Saudi Arabia. You see hands get cut off, guys are stealing gold from, vendors.
Yeah, and that's our friends, the Saudis, the lovely Saudis.
I'm telling you guys, I didn't want to see this, but I had to just to prove it to myself.
So you as a guy who knows, now, who would fake it and why, Marco? Who would fake it and why?
Okay. The government agencies, many. I can't really point out to who, but why?
Yeah.
I mean, why all of a sudden this thing is coming out, you know, to divert the attention of the American people from the way we treated them in those jails. You know, it's just a diversion.
It's the old wag the dog.
It's the old wag the dog, and even if it's not, what was this guy doing? You know, roaming the streets of Iraq looking for a job. It just seems too stupid. Or if not, then
it's the stupidest thing that a normal person would ever do.
That just, to me, that is the weirdest part, that he was not with a company, he was not with coalition contractors,
right.
He just went on his own looking for work. Go to Florida.
Fez, either that or he was a spy, and they caught him.
Yeah.
And it's over. You know, he was a spy for us or for Israel.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking the same thing. He's some kind of a double-knot spy going back from one side to the other because,
right.
You know, we had to be on to this guy, and we had to be on to him before. There's no way he's going to break the government if he was working with the terrorists. If we just got some regular kid in Westchester helping out the terrorists, that would have been a huge story. So what do they think? It's smarter to turn the guy? Why am I thinking these thoughts? All I can tell you is going to Iraq now, looking for work, is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Now, I'm a guy who's been in a room full of Colombians with a gym bag full of cash, thinking to myself, I hope this goes right. And I'm telling you, this is way crazier than that. Way crazier. Paul, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Paul.
Oh, hey. Hey, guys. About the orange jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Supposedly, the early report said that they put that on him to symbolize the orange jumpsuits that we have the detainees wearing in Guantanamo.
And where did they get orange jumpsuits from? What's that? What, you know,
well, is it an Al-Qaeda wardrobe person?
Well,
and why wouldn't they make that announcement?
If you look at the tape, it looks like he's wearing like silk or satin, so it's probably just some orange clothes they came up with. You know, it's not an actual prison jumpsuit.
The whole thing is nuts. The whole thing is nuts that we have to sit around wondering why the guy's in an orange jumpsuit.
Now, he's got a pretty good-sized beard going on him in the video.
Yeah.
Did they hold him that long that he was able to grow that beard?
Now, see, you're babbling. Now you're talking crazy.
Or if he was a spy, was he trying to blend in with that beard and hair?
Just insane. Tom, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going? I really enjoy you guys every day.
Yeah, we're really good.
I don't know, man. They should be thankful that, you know, like in the prisons, what we done to them was mild compared to that. I mean, nobody.
So you're buying the story?
Oh yeah.
You're buying the whole thing. You're fitting into it. You're picking up on it now.
Oh yeah. They should be thankful for what we've done because
they are.
The
18% are.
Right. Well, the little bit of stuff, it was mild. It's kids play. What happened in the camps compared to bodies hanging off of bridges and burning. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what you're supposed to believe, I guess. That's you're in it. You love Big Brother, and I wish I was with you, bro. Maybe I will be. Maybe by the end of this thing, I'll be crying and I'll say I love Big Brother. That's where I want to be. Wash my brain. The day that you hear me going along with everything, you'll go, finally, he's happy. He's part of it now.
That is the illicit response that they want.
Good.
That was exactly, that couldn't have been better off of a script.
Good. Bite my neck. Turn me into one of the vampires. I'd rather be with the undead than constantly wondering what the hell's going on.
Which pill were we supposed to take?
Exactly, man. I want to wake up. It's time to... Maybe if the whole country would just push out of our pods and say, okay, this is it. This is reality.
Our eyebrows will grow back fast enough.
I know you're following Nemo Carey, Fezzy, all over the place, saying he's the one. I'm a little suspect. I don't know.
He looked at the pictures today. He just dropped by the Senate to get a look at all the new torture and humiliation pictures.
Yeah.
And didn't have a comment. He left without saying anything.
I wish he just would have came out and threw up. Just, oh, man. I was in Vietnam, and I never saw anything that hideous.
I've always left open the possibility of my own life of voting for a Democrat for president. I never have. And now that I probably will, I never dreamed it would be John Kerry.
He hasn't made his move yet, Fezzy. He hasn't closed. Although, have you seen the latest numbers today? I know you're a big poll number guy, and I always tell you that I don't pay attention to them. But there are new poll numbers out, and they're looking very, very good for Kerry today. Now, since we don't have an election today, I don't know how much it means. This is a CNN time poll. Likely voters' choice for president. If it was today, Kerry 51%, Bush 46%.
That's huge to jump over that 50 mark.
Including Nader, Kerry 49%, Bush 44%, Nader 6%. So that's kind of weird. If you believe this one, you would say exactly what Nader's saying. This will take a little bit from both parties. On terrorism, 46% of the people think that the president is doing a good job. On Iraq, only 39% of the people think that he's doing a good job. And on the economy, 39% of the people think he's doing a good job. So we might have to stage some more crazy things, Fezzy.
Yeah, now, John Kerry, he's going to get 2 more natural pushes in the polls. No matter what the numbers are, these things always happen. When he announces his running mate, that's always a lot of, concentration and focus on the challenger, and that gives him a push. And there's always a post-convention push as well.
Right, so why do you pay attention to the polls? The polls don't matter until November 2nd. That's when the whole thing kicks in. But the president, if you're going to believe these polls, he's got to work some stuff. He's got to start working some magic.
Yeah, if you go by tradition, the polls are in that danger zone of not being able to come back from.
Now, we were talking earlier about that horrible tape, which I've already told you not to watch. Maybe
I haven't.
Maybe now you might want to, since you're hearing hoax rumors. You might be able to get through it. But a couple of DJs were fired in Portland, Oregon. Marconi and Tiny, and I saw the picture. Tiny is not. I'll just leave it at that. They played the tape pretty much like Hannity did in New York. Although when these 2 guys in Portland played it, they laughed while the beheading was going on. And I'm going, the interesting thing here is 2 guys in Portland fired. That's exactly where White Riot, Wonder Boy's new morning show, wants to go.
Oh, yeah, could easily replace the Marconi and Tiny morning show.
And even keep the same names. We could start calling Harry Elvis Tiny, and nobody knows. Nobody guesses a thing.
So Marconi may have an opening here.
All right, you see that White Riot doesn't even come into the room? I would if I was a producer and I heard my name come up. I would come running into the room. And I'd feel like I was part of a show.
I'm sure as soon as he heard Portland, he just cringed and hid under a couch.
White Riot, are you thinking about heading out there and picking up that gig?
Again, the theme wasn't to go to Portland, but...
You say Portland all during your air check. Why don't you send them that air check and let them know that you're ready? Let's do it tonight.
That we have a local flavor?
Yes, that you have a local flavor. Plus, you're going to have Ken in Portland. He'll write for you, and he's hysterical. He's funnier than all 4 of you ham and eggers put together.
If Ken's in, I'm in. I can't go without Ken.
Stop trying to do your kind of humor. It's not going to work with us, where you roll with it and everything's going to be funny.
Well, I guess I'll just send them the regular tape then, without Ken.
Hey, Joe, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, how are you? Hey, one interesting thing about these conspiracy theories is there's always that little fact you can unravel. And my question is, if the tape is a fake, why did they then find the guy's body with no head on it? It seems kind of unlikely they'd go to the trouble of faking it and then kill him the same way they faked the tape doing it.
Yeah, I think the big conspiracy people, they're going with who actually killed this guy. That's the big conspiracy. I have no idea whether that tape is real or false or anything else. All I'm saying is the conspiracy nuts are going crazy, and since 9/11, we have real things to worry about. We don't need, like, crazy, fun conspiracies to start talking about anymore.
But the coincidence that this kid was linked to Al-Qaeda before he went to Iraq 3 years ago.
And why is not the media screaming this stuff? How could anything this stupid have happened? They're not. They're just reporting it like it's news. like it makes sense. It doesn't at all. Hey, John, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey, buddy.
The news is reporting it dryly right now because they can't make the connection firmly. But I really think, you watch the video, the guy looks extremely calm while they're reading the statement. He was linked to Moussaoui beforehand. I think this might have been his martyrdom operation.
You think he was a martyr for the States?
I think that this was his martyrdom operation for Al-Qaeda. He was linked to them beforehand.
Oh.
He looked very calm in the video.
He was amazingly calm in the video.
That's
oddly calm in the video. Why they took his head off. It's very bizarre. It's completely bizarre.
So under the martyrdom theory, he would allow himself to be beheaded so that it would freak out Americans and they would turn on the war effort.
Or, on the other hand, maybe he hadn't, he felt like he was with his friends. They pull a Fredo on him, and he had no idea it was coming. Maybe they said, hey, we're going to fake a bit, and didn't. Who knows? I mean, again, Fezzy, this is how you're going to end up, wearing some kind of aluminum foil toupee because you don't want them to pick up your thought patterns from outer space. This is what happens when you start to think this way. I don't want to be that guy, and I'm stuck being that guy. First time in my life, I'm the crazy guy.
We need more tinfoil.
I've been cutting out little pieces of newspaper and trying to put them up on the wall, and I'm running string from one to the other, thinking there must be a pattern.
Where's the baby? Is the baby in the tub?
Yeah, don't worry. I got my best friend from college keeping an eye on him.
Wait a minute. You didn't have a best friend in college.
Oh, my God. Kelly, you're on the air.
Okay, you guys, I've got the whole thing figured out.
Good, finally.
The guy worked for the CIA. Okay? He worked for the CIA, which is why, and he was a mole, which is why he had the prior connection to Al-Qaeda. And also, I don't know if you guys heard, but they interviewed his neighbors. And unlike the normal thing when people get killed, like, oh, he was a quiet guy who kept to himself, the one thing all the neighbors said was he sure traveled a lot. He was, like, in Africa, and he was here and there. The guy totally worked for the CIA. Al-Qaeda probably figured out who he was, and they killed him. And that's why there's such silence, because they don't want to out who he really is.
When he was doing all these travels and adventures, was he putting up TV antennas the whole time?
No, it's a total cover. Total cover.
That's his cover, Fez.
And if he was legitimate, how could he afford to go all these places just on an antenna repairman salary?
Exactly.
Nice work.
This is craziness. Chris, you're on the air.
Hey, guys. I just think if he was with the CIA, or shall I say if the CIA did do this, it would solve three problems at the same time. Number one, it would link Iraq to Al-Qaeda, which the government wants. Number two, it would get rid of this guy if he was involved somehow. And number three, there was a third.
Yeah, okay. The third was the one that
they could blame him for the fake turkey.
The third was the one we really wanted. Hey, Rob, you're on Ron and Fez.
No way that guy was CIA, because if you go to, like, CNN.com and look at the guy, when he's, like, hanging out in Westchester, Pennsylvania, he's got, like, a cut-off muscle shirt. He weighs, like, 285 pounds. It just doesn't look like the recruit type.
Here's the other weird thing. Bam Margera lives in Westchester. Don Vito has been with the CIA since 1976. What's that tell you, Fez? You don't think Phil is somehow caught up in this?
There's too much coincidence.
And if that happens, you're looking at the whole jackass crew. Oh, it's the life of David Gale. I'm looking at the life of David Gale, Fezzy, where this guy is making sure that he dies so that we get a point through, which is not even the right point.
I think the third problem solved that the previous caller couldn't figure out, couldn't remember. We get rid of Marconi and Tiny at the same time.
Well, here's the thing. The guy wasn't Tiny, so why did he go by that name? Could you imagine being so bad that you think to yourself, let's play a beheading and laugh as a comedy piece, and people will like us? No wonder White Riot's taking over that town. White Riot, get in here.
They compete.
Are you really going to send your tape to those people?
I don't want to leave you guys. We
want you to leave. And you saw me talking with Alan earlier, right?
Well, yeah, I saw that you were talking to Alan, but
we were talking about you leaving. And he said, we got stations in Portland. He goes, I heard the thing, we got stations in Portland. I know you don't feel like cutting the guy loose.
But here's where my home is. Virginia is where I want to stay. I just want to do stuff on the weekend. I don't want to leave you guys.
Say that. I never want to hear you say that again.
I have Virginia license plate.
I don't want to hear anything. I don't want you to say that name again. I want you to think about moving. Here's what I'll do. I'll get a globe, I'll throw a dart at it, and wherever it lands is where we help you get a gig. Now, I was talking with Cameron today, and after we were done the Wonder Boys Nightmare stuff, he said sales came to them and wants me and you to do some kind of, Fez, not you, Wonder Boy, so walk away. Fez, they would like you and I to do some kind of cicada updates.
Cicada updates?
Where we break into programming and do like a minute of where the cicada problems are.
Why would we do that?
I guess we're the news team. We're the WJFK news team.
Who do we look like? Marconi and Tiny?
Yeah.
All right, yes, we do look like
I call Marconi this time.
Damn!
Just once I want to be Marconi. So, I'm talking about with Alan, we're in his office, and his door was open, and I'm going, I don't know about this whole cicada thing. I don't think it really fits even the station. I understand people are panicking, but I haven't seen a lot of cicadas around. I don't think we're into a big locust problem. A cicada comes flying into his room at that moment, Fez, hits the window, and starts going crazy.
Cue the cicada.
Alan, and you know how nice his office is, right?
Oh,
and
sure.
how it has got pictures of his family and memorabilia and his career, and it's basically a salute to Alan in there. It's just everything he ever liked. And you know that he always stays cool, right? He screams, I hate bugs, takes this magazine, and starts whomping it against trying to hit a crazy cicada. As you know, I don't go overboard with anything. Pictures were flying. The magazine is tearing apart. Things are coming down all around us. And finally, he smashes this huge bug all over his window.
Well, it's nice to know there's some grace under pressure in that office.
So I had to finally go, okay, we'll do the cicada updates, but they can't be serious.
He did the same thing when the Cameron rumor showed up.
Yeah, he started swatting around then.
Pictures were flying then, too. And then a lot of just laying on the ground kicking.
Yeah. And I'm just going like this. You got to chill, man. You got to chill. If these cicadas are coming, you can't act like that every time you see one. Keep it together.
We got swarms. You can't freak out over just one. I've seen 2 on the sidewalk in front of this place.
I guarantee you he knocked over 9 pictures. Flying. Crashing into the ground. Redskins flags are coming down.
That is not a weakness that you want to show in a place like this where, yes, cicadas can be gathered up and put on someone's desk.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said, don't worry, I won't let this get out.
That is the wrong thing to show.
This stays between me and you, I say. Unbelievable.
Start gathering husk.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break here, Fezzy. I feel like a little better now, like I got my paranoia out of the way. We're going to learn a little bit tonight about the seductive art of Japanese bondage.
Midori will be coming up a little bit later on the Ron and Fez show from beautybound.com.
The hell with that. We actually have some people here to do it, Fez. Jonathan and Drew are in the house. And they're into all kinds of bondage, as you know. And they're going to explain to us and show us how this stuff works. So if you need a little something new for the relationship, this is the way to go. You don't get your chick bath oils and candles and all that old school stuff. You've got to bind her up in Japanese rope. And I guess you hang her from the ceiling.
Yeah, you make her a decoration. You turn her into a Japanese lantern.
And the other thing, White Riot, is you have to, when she's doing this, We want you on the dump button so El Jefe can come down because of your little condition.
My condition?
Yeah, last night, the oddness that you went through with afraid to have your shirt off, your tiny nips, and your inability to be touched. So you're going to...
Be thrown out for that?
You're not being thrown out. You're you're moving up. You're moving upstairs to the dump room.
I don't...
And also, prepare yourself. You've got a little match that Fez has put together for you tonight.
That's right. It's the first of the Friday night challenges on a very hot summer on the Ron and Fez show. You'll be going up against Cigar Sid, the intern, in girl karaoke.
So all that coming up. Action-packed Friday night show. We're right back. We are Ron and Fez.